maybe they will want, as a tombstone, they want bike entertainment. Sometimes I do team buildings.
So you have a business on the side that involves bike entertainment, team building, and which is essentially a cash business.
It's not a business per se, it's a side hustle.
Well, not a formal business, but you make money from these team building and cycle entertainment services that you provide to people.
And boat ride, yes.
Do you and your brother keep any system of accounts in relation to these monies that get paid to you for your brother's purposes?
Can you repeat that?
So your brother has a business, a security business.
Yes.
I've seen evidence that that business does fairly substantial turnover. It's not, I mean, it's a business that I would imagine does a turnover that runs into millions of rands, not sort of thousands of rands. Is that a fair assessment?
That's correct.
Now, I presume it's got a proper set of accounts for the business.
That's correct.
So how are these sorts of transactions where cash just gets paid to you to hold for your brother, how are they reflected in your brother's accounts? Do you get given receipts when you pay over 12,500 rands to your brother?
No.
Is there any accounting record of the 12,500 rand payment that you might make to your brother?
No.
And as between you and your brother, how do you keep track of all of this?
Maybe he does record them somewhere, but I'm not aware of. But based on our communication, that is our record.
So, but you have no record of any of that?
Like if it is paid, let's say on Thursday, I meet him next week Monday, I'll tell him where does it come from.
Yes, but we've seen in relation to the sale of a truck that you had 385,000 rands of your brother's money for months. So it's not always Thursday to Monday, it's sometimes months at a time. Is that not true?
Can you repeat that?
You recall that there was cash found in your safe. I don't want to deal with that in any detail now, which you say was not your money, 385,000, I think. It wasn't your money, it was your brother's money, cash.
That's correct.
And your version was that that cash had been in your safe for months. Is that not correct?
No, that's not correct.
Okay, well, let's not go there now. I intend to go there in some detail later. How long did you hold that money in your safe for your brother?
2 or 3 days.
Only 2 or 3 days?
Yes.
And the longest you hold cash for your brother?
It depends.
You see, I just don't understand this arrangement. I mean, if your brother comes up to you and says, give me the 13,000 rands that you owe me, or give me the 8,000 rands that you owe me, how do you keep track of what you actually owe your brother if you don't have any records of it?
I keep it in my head.
So you just remember you've got a running total of what you owe your brother, or your brother owes you, sorry, you owe your brother at any given moment. And let's move to something else involving Mr. Mampani. Can you go to page 932.
On which file?
Of the last file, file 3 of the new files. 932. There you'll see that on the 30th of April last year, at 11:56, you sent Mr. Mampani a long list, a list that goes on for, I think, 15 pages. You see that?
Yes, I see that.
What was that list? Do you recall what that list was? I mean, do you want me to show you the list, or do you recall immediately what it was?
Maybe you can show me once and then.
So if we go to page 980, you'll see the list.
Okay, now I recall.
So what it is it's a list of bidders for a Tshwane Municipal Police Department tender, tender 3 of 2004.
That's correct.
And it has not only the bidders, but also their prices. And it's a list of hundreds of bidders who have bid for this contract with all of their prices. You see that?
That's correct.
Why did you send this list to Mr. Mampani?
Because he also, okay, it was the list of the people who applied there. I sent it to him after it was a public document, because of once it is captured, then it becomes a public document. So I sent it to Mr. Mampane because of he already knew that there was this thing that was coming and so on.
Sorry, I mean, there's a lot that I'd like to follow up on there, but my question is, why did you send it to Mr. Mampani? We'll get to where you got it from, whether it was a public document later, but why did you send it to Why did you send it to Mr. Mampani? I think my microphone was off.
Because he had applied for that tender.
Through which company?
I don't know.
I think you do.
Why do you say that?
Because I think you know that you saw most of the documents inside the tender process before the tender was awarded. You deny that you saw documents from inside the tender process before the tender. I'd need a yes or a no there.
No.
No, you say. We'll get there probably only tomorrow. But let's take a look at that list back at page 980. The sixth name on that list is El Shaddai Security Services.
900 and what?
980.
Nine eight on the same document.
Same document, yes, 980. If you look, each bidder has a number. Number 6 is El Shaddai.
Okay.
What do you know about El Shaddai?
I don't know anything.
I think that's not true. You stand by that answer. What do you know about El Shaddai?
I don't know anything.
Is it not true that El Shaddai and Ngepeshaya were the two bidders who you, Mr. Mnisi, and the deputy head of the TMPD, Mr. Dlamini, who's described as general undercover in your chats, weren't those the two bidders that you decided were going to win this tender?
What's the second name in addition to El Shaddai, Mr. Chancellor?
Ngepeshaya, his brother's company, Sergeant Nkosi's brother's company.
Okay. Your answer, Sergeant Nkosi?
No, that's not true.
It's not true.
Yes.
It's not true.
It's not true.
Did you have any communications with Mr. Mnisi and undercover General Dlamini in relation to Ngepeshaya and El Shaddai?
Not Al Shaddai, but Ngapeshaya.
So you say you spoke about Ngapeshaya, but not about El Shaddai.
That's correct.
Also, the name is Ngapeshaya.
Ngapeshaya. And at no stage you suggested that El Shaddai should also get the contract.
Your response?
Your answer?
Oh, sorry. Yes, Mr. Chancellor.
Bear with me. I wasn't planning to get there today, but I was planning to get there tomorrow. Give me a minute. I'll show you where you spoke to them.
Do you want to say something, Sergeant Nkosi?
You may want to reconsider your answer before I get there.
Yeah, no, I think you may get there, but I'm pressed a bit.
I'll get there quickly. Go to page
No, no, no.
148.
Listen,
Sergeant-
through you,
Sergeant
Commissioner.
Nkosi-
Hey, I've
Sergeant
been
Nkosi-
holding it for some time.
Nkosi,
Just,
you are a young man. You can't be pressed this many times.
no, you know why? It's this medication. I drink more water, then they cost me to, I'm sorry, commissioners, about that.
Let's